Hey everyone, it's Allie. Welcome back to Wonderland. I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend and I hope that you guys have a wonderful week ahead. Thanks so much for tuning in. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a handheld console game player. I love to collect physical games for all of the handheld consoles that I own. I do have some for PlayStation 2, 3, 4, Xbox, but not as much. I do focus more on the handheld because it's a convenience to me. I get to play in my bed when I'm tired and I just don't have the time to sit, in front of a TV all day. I wanted to talk about my favorite genre today. Everybody knows that it's Metroidvanias by now, so I hope you're not sick of it. But today, what I did was, Steam Fest was a week and a half ago. I downloaded a bunch of Metroidvania games for you guys, and I curated my top 5 out of the demos that I tried out that I am really excited for and I really wanted to share with you guys. So without further ado, let me get into the video and let you know what 5 I picked, why I picked them, and then you let me know in the comments below if you got interested and you're gonna wishlist them too. So let's get into the video. The first game that I want to talk about is Gestalt, Steam, and Cinder. Now, I mentioned this game briefly in my upcoming Metroidvania Part 2 video, but now that it has a lot of more extensive gameplay, I have a lot more details to share with you. And of course, this is one of the top 5 of the Metroidvanias that I wishlisted as soon as I knew the demo was out. Now, I really enjoyed the demo. The game has got a badass protagonist called Ellipse, who seems to be fearless from the very beginning of the game. You begin the game with a sword and a revolver. Although you're really not sure what the gun does from the very start, though it will come in handy later on in the game. Manually reloading the gun each time might kind of be a little bit repetitive and maybe even forgetful at times, so it was a little bit annoying, but it was a minor detail since the revolver can break meters so that Ellipse can effectively stun her enemies in order to defeat them. The map exploration seems like any of similar genre where you explore each room with certain doors awaiting new abilities and items, etc., etc. I especially loved the town where there were shops and residents. It looked very cozy, but for some reason I was only able to access the shop, which kind of sucked, but I'm assuming it was because of it being a demo. You will also come across teethers in the game that will save the game and provide you with valuable upgrades that will be useful as you progress in the game. And while you start the game with plenty abilities already, which is not the norm for Metroidvanias, I find that this game is charming with its music, graphics, and storytelling. Plus, having a female protagonist was a plus for me since I haven't played that many of similar genres with a female as the main role. One of the downsides that I noticed of this game is that there is no difficulty level, and I felt the enemies were a bit too easy for me. I do like minimal challenge when playing this genre, so it would have been nice to be able to toggle that on and off. Maybe the devs might implement it before its release, so let's wait and see what their final product will look like. The release date says somewhere in 2023, but will be available on all major platforms, which is always nice. So, that was that. The next game that I wanted to talk about is Ellipse. This game was very challenging because this platform is unique in nature. This game reminded me so much of Ori and the Blind Forest mixed with Hollow Knight and Tim Burton, which combined many of my favorite Metroidvanias, but don't let that fool you. This game was very challenging because this platformer is unique in nature. Every 10 years, a sacrifice is made to protect the people from the Abyss, a place worshipped as it is feared. You are Faye, awakened by Nyx after living alone in a cave with boulders for 10 years, and with his help you will try to reach a portal that would finally let you escape the depth of the Abyss. Utilizing a dash and slash system, this game is more of a puzzle than a platformer, as you must point the arrow into the right direction in order to advance around the map. To attack enemies, you also utilize your light, or what the game calls a thorn, and point it to the direction of enemies. This was very difficult to maneuver, and it did take a lot of practice. But after getting the hang of it, it was pretty fun. This game has got a lot of exploration, and it is very atmospheric, and if it wasn't for the hair-gripping difficulty of the game, this game would have been my top choice for a relaxing Metroidvania because of how beautiful the environment of the game is. I see this game have a lot of potential for speedruns. If you're into that sort of challenge, I myself don't really like to replay the games after I beat them, but if you're into it, this is definitely it. The game demo ends with a really big skeleton demon, which only makes me think that this might be one of the main enemies of the game, and this makes me question if our attack power improves over time. Do we get a better system to attack enemies, or does that game just want us to end up at the closest mental health clinic? Since I will definitely be playing it when it releases, stay tuned to find out. Game is set to release sometime in Q2 of 2023, and is coming to most major platforms. Next game I wanted to talk about is Skeleton The Prey. Do you miss Dark Souls? Do you need another Souls-like game to haunt you in your sleep? Are you such a masochist that you get hyped from games where you die repeatedly? Do you miss the Castlevania trope and need your fix of Igavanias? If you answered yes to all those questions, then this Metroidvania is for you. The demo I played was just the prequel to the main game called Skeleton: The Chronicles of Arikona. The prequel is currently free to download and is on Steam, and if you'd like to try this game out for yourself, you take the role of Derek Arikona, a lord destined for death by treachery who avoided another grim fate, and it seems that the people who want you punished for your sins are out looking for you. Like any other Metroidvania, you have your abilities and will upgrade them over time and help you with movement and combat as you explore the world. The game has a similar system to Dark Souls where you sit at a bonfire and level up your stats depending on the class you might want to pursue. This game definitely has the Igavania element. It is an RPG style 2D platformer with item selection customization where you can equip various armor, weapons, and items that you can use throughout the game. The game also concentrates more on melee weapons as opposed to ranged weapons, although I did read that they had bows, pistols, and rifles. Some of the enemies are huge, being 3 to 4 times the size of you, and one of the first bosses I fought in the prequel was challenging with a ton of traps throughout the map that added more difficulty to the boss. This is a great game overall, and I am looking forward to seeing more about it as we get closer to the release date. The next game that I wanted to talk about was Rin The Last Child. I am really excited about this game and cannot wait for its release. You play Rin, and what the devs describe as a dark fairy tale Metroidvania. This game takes inspiration from a well-known ancient myth about Cronus and his conflict with his children. The mythology was about Kronos, the king of the Titanus and the god of time. He ruled the cosmos during the Golden Age after castrating and deposing his father, Uranus, the Uranus sky, in fear of a prophecy that he would in turn be overthrown by his own son. Kronos swallowed each of his children as they were born. Rhea managed to save the youngest, Zeus, by hiding him away on the island of Crete, and fed Kronos a stone wrapped in swaddling clothes. Just from this explanation alone, we can figure out a bit about the lore of the game, or explore the entire map till we figure it out along the way. The game has crafting and magic, and as you collect runes and blueprints for better magic, you craft spells to utilize in combat. This game allows you to customize your spells, allowing for unique gameplay. It conveys a dark art style, yet still manages to retain a bit of lightheartedness that merges to create an aesthetic not often seen. With its soothing sounds of birds chirping in the background and animal noises, blended in with the wind instruments, the elements of white sound provides the perfect environment for this type of game. One of my favorite elements in a Metroidvania is the exploration element, and the map of this game has the perfect blend for it. From a deadly jungle to a deadly underground passage, exploring the map is exciting, and you begin to discover new lands with every step you take. And finally, the last game that I want to talk about is Afterimage. I tried this game during its initial run and tested it out and knew that this Metroidvania would be something magical and had lots of potential. Playing it again during Steam Fest, I was not mistaken. The game definitely delivers what every Metroidvania fan looks for: interconnected maps with secrets, a great and smooth battle system with the potential of selecting unique weapons and magic builds. In Garden, story seems tragic where the sun and the moon has disappeared, rain is scarce, and the gods of these lands lost their powers and can no longer be summoned. It is up to Renee to figure out what happened to this land and how to return life to it. This is under the action RPG genre, so you can expect lots of close-up hack and slash combat. The music is beautiful and contains over 40 original soundtracks. The fantasy world that was created by the devs is gorgeous, and I love that it was all handcrafted. It has such talent, it's amazing. All versions of the game are coming out on April 25 with the physical copy as well, so if you haven't pre-ordered it, go do it now. So those were my 5 Metroidvanias that I think that are really awesome, and I'm really looking forward to playing them. Had a lot of fun during the demos, and I really think that these games have potential to be pretty awesome for 2023. What did you guys think? Did you guys ever hear of these Metroidvanias before I made this list? Do you think you're going to wishlist them? Are you excited for them as much as I am? Let me know in the comments below. I'm really excited to hear your thoughts. Thank you so much for staying till the end of the video, and thank you so much for being part of the Wonderland family. Like, comment, and subscribe if you're not already part of our family. We would love to grow. We would love to have you on board. I will link down my social media down below. I have a Twitter page that I keep updated frequently, and I do have a Discord where I stream games on Friday with my fam, if you're interested in that sort of thing. And as always, guys, thank you for your support. I really appreciate it, and I hope all of you stay wonderful. Until next time.